I really chose the rhyme around 2000, I would have thought. Yeah, so what's that, 24 years? 24 years at least. I am focusing on rhyme and rhyme alone. Like, I haven't written a play or a different type of poem even, you know, kind of just really rhyme, working on the craft. And every time, like you said, it's just yourself at the start there's probably musicality in the words, and there's definitely rhythms. And the sound, it's all to do with the sound, so that's music, isn't it? And on the good days and on the good, fun, playful days, the alphabet is like a set of drums. You know, the F and the T, and sometimes you're looking for words just for F and T because you want to say F and T.
Welcome to the Cassandra Voices podcast, an Irish home for independent journalism with a global perspective. The prophetess Cassandra advised her fellow Trojans to reject the horse the Greeks had seemingly left behind as a gift, but was ignored. Our Cassandra Voices podcast offers cautionary tales and inspiring narratives to illuminate our own troubled times. We'll be putting out regular episodes reflecting the broad scope of our magazine's coverage over the last 6 years. Thanks to the Loafing Heroes and especially Bartholomew Ryan for the use of their track Rogoira from the 2019 album Meander Tales.
You're not guilty, not really. The city breeds me.
I wake up and balya aha clear, and it shatters my soul sometimes when I see it. Like, is it for real or is it an idea? Can I screw it together like a yoke from IKEA? Said I wake up and balya aha clear, and I brush this decree sometimes when I see it, like a bird in a cage, and I just wanna free it, or a word on a page. And
Hi, I'm Frank Armstrong. Aficionados of the Dublin cultural scene over the past decade or two are likely to be familiar with John Cummins. Cutting a dash with a distinctive Rasputin beard and reggae styles, John's poetic performances in the Dublin vernacular have mesmerised audiences young and old. His playful, rhyming verse always had great musicality, and it seemed a natural progression for him to begin collaborating with musicians, culminating in the formation of the band Shakalak in 2018, which also contains another former musician of the month in Fin Divilly. If you haven't made it along to one of their gigs yet, you are in for a treat. In this special Musician of the Month podcast, John discusses his first musical adventures, the evolution of his craft, football analogies, and his ambition for global domination. All tracks from this episode come from Shakalak.
I walk through the Dublin Ballia, the town full of drugs and the alcohol, yeah, the boardwalk junkies, the bank link beggars, are the muppet monkeys, the insulin feckers. Yeah, I walk through the clear Ballia Ahe, but never in the places I know all of the same shit's done by the Garda Síochána, or they left the dopes over there in the door, yeah.
Taking your cues from the heritage.
Welcome to the Cassandra Voices podcast. I'm joined by Musician of the Month, John Cummins, who's going to explore his musical background, his current practice, and where he sees himself as a musician in the future. So, John.
Hello, Frank.
Welcome. I first met you when you were...
Downstairs, probably, was it?
No, I met you in County Kerry.
Oh.
At the Fading Light Festival.
Wow, yeah. It's gone back.
About 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And there was this very small festival that went on. It's no longer going, actually, in Cardaniel.
That's right.
On the Ivory Peninsula. And John came in to this little pub and lit up the room with his verse. I remember his just rolling around in laughter some of the lines
Nice.
about culinary.
Oh, the Chipper
invention.
poem was out then, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
alive. Yeah. Well, the Chipper poem was born in 2010, so it must have been between 2010 and could have been 2011 or whatever. Yeah.
And there was always a musicality to the way you were as a poet, and so it was great when you connected with musicians and then perform Shakalak.
Yeah.
But just to go back a little bit further, were you a musical child? Did you do music as a kid?
I didn't do music as a kid. I didn't kind of have music in the schools where people might come across it. Loved music. Absolutely loved music. Loved listening to it. Remember going into the record player in the room and putting it on, learning how to treat the needle respectfully and all that. So you just listen to whatever was there. What was that? Leo Sayer, things like that. Wherever you just listen to that. Then when I was a little bit older, maybe my brother was probably 15, of an older brother, Paul. He kind of got his hands on a guitar. So that was the first kind of time. So Paul would be playing and learning songs in the room, and yeah, I'd be left-handed picking her up upside down, just playing one string or something like that. Do you know the kind of way? He'd be doing Simon and Garfunkel songs. I remember, You're Wonderful Tonight, Eric Clapton. He learned how to do that one. And he told me that was his song and that he wrote it. And I believed him. I was of an age to believe that. And I believed that. I must have believed that for years, until it was years later when I was at a party somewhere and I heard it, like in the context, and I was going, fucking penny dropped then, you know what I mean? But yeah, music, loved it, love it. Then Bob Marley. I was old enough to remember Bob Marley when he passed away, and everyone getting the reggae into you. The knitted jumpers. The Maz knit all the jumpers, and Bob Marley, R.I.P. all around. And Bobby Sands at the time, all that. And then people going over to the Lebanon, maybe bringing back cassette tapes. They'd be bringing back, all the soldiers, they bring back cassette tapes and they do the rounds around the estate. People would be double, they get the double cassette tape and you record it. So you'd be getting all sorts. It's great. Yeah. Then you're maybe working and then you're buying your own music, wherever you like. Yeah.
What else were you into as a kid?
How about football? Football was the thing. That was my thing. All that age, all the way through. Yeah, football. So and maybe I started right maybe about 15, something like that.
Was it sometimes, as a footballer, were some of the lads sort of, not so into music, or was there a bit of a divide between the football lads and the music lads? Or?
Well, everyone, just very, very few people don't like music, I'd say. So music was definitely a conversational topic in dressing rooms and all that, musical tastes, and yeah, definitely. So music was there. The odd lad, singing songs, I suppose. So singing songs. Yeah, but the poetry, I would have kept that quiet. Yeah, definitely.
So you started writing poetry as a 15-year-old?
Yeah, well, I was still playing football and even playing to a higher level or whatever. Yeah, I definitely kept that quiet. And maybe then, when I left Ireland, then maybe about 18, 19, I kind of got a tin whistle and a barrel on stick, you know what I mean? And so, to bring a bit of Ireland with you or something, and that's when I first started playing instruments. So the barrel on to the tin whistle to the keyboard to, guitar, trying anything, you know what I mean? And then you put yourself into situations where there is a musical session going on, your friends group would vary then. It wouldn't just only be footballers or sports people you'd be hanging around with, be different types of people. You might seek them out.
So where did you go?
I was in Germany mostly, Munich. Yeah, so I was there for a long time, 10 years, 11 years, 12 years probably.
And did you feel, as an Irish person abroad, that you had to be able to perform? Or was
No, I was never performing. This was nothing to do with performing. Jesus Christ, no. This was just for myself, for those little moments when you're homesick on the balcony and you just pick up the tin whistle. You haven't a clue what you're playing, but you're just playing something, And then that'll do you, and then on you go with your day,
Did you learn any musical theory?
No, self-taught, maybe. Yeah, every now and then you might watch a YouTube, I don't know, Yeah, self-taught, learn by doing. Put on a song and jam with it,
And were there any teachers involved?
No, not yet.
Yeah. And did you find collaborators? Did you play with?
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, so that would have first started over in Munich. You know, even with there's a couple of lads, Merish and Marino, lovely lads. We'd meet up irregularly, but every now and then, and have a little jam of some description. You know what I mean? Bring a harmonica and just blow it, and then you'd be learning. Merish would have a bit more experience back then, and we'd then talks about what key it's in. You know what I mean? You're like, you know what I mean? But your ear, I think I have a good ear. One of my favourite things has always been, if there's a keyboard or piano, is like, you know, to put on the radio so you don't know what song is coming next, you know, and just jam it what comes along, you know, and try to pick up the song before the song finishes, which is a good game. Yeah, and I like doing that. That's good crack. And then you go, that's that shape. You know, I call them shapes. You know, that's the same shape as that Bob Marley song, or that's the same shape as that particular song, or whatever it might be. And recognizing patterns, you know.
And was it a major change then to bring your lyrics into the music?
No. Like, so I would have always been writing different styles, not just poems, you know, plays, books, whatever, you know, everything, given writing a good bash throughout my 20s, but I really chose the rhyme around 2000, I would have thought. Yeah, so what's that, 24 years at least. I am focusing on rhyme and rhyme alone. Like, I haven't written a play or a different type of poem even, you know, kind of just really rhyme, working on the craft. And every time, like you said, it's yourself at the start there's probably musicality in the words, and there's definitely rhythms. And the sound, it's all to do with the sound, so that's music, isn't it? And on the good days and the good, fun, playful days, the alphabet is like a set of drums, you know. You know, the F and the T, and sometimes you're looking for words just with F and T because you want to say F and T.
And do you think there's, in Dublin, do you think that there's a particular musicality to the language that ordinary people speak?
Yeah, definitely. Like, well, yeah, you have to be listening, like, you know. Ireland as a whole, like the whole country, all the different accents, all the different dialects, it's bloody gorgeous, like, you know what I mean? I love it. Absolutely love it.
Is that a playfulness, or is that a kind of, like, you know, in the same way as Joyce was sort of kind of disrupting the English language? Is that, do you think that that's still going on today?
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, definitely. Little turns of phrases.
Yeah. So tell us now about coming together as Shakalak. What?
Right. So here we are above.
What's the spark for that?
The spark for that, I suppose. It was something that I would have always wanted. You know. So as I say, we go back to 2010, even if we may, and just go ripple through real quick or something. So 2010, the Chipper poem say down in Cahardaniel. So that's the song now with the band. So stuff, you know. And we've kind of made that. So everything that I've been writing for a good number of years has consciously been with structure around it, where it's easily adaptable to a template, you know what I mean, for a song. So everything's been written with music in mind for years, like. And sometimes they'd have melodies, sometimes they wouldn't, sometimes they'd have certain BPMs or whatever, you know, or even a key. I might have a notion of a key or whatever. And around that time, 2010, was when I first started, I suppose, really performing. This is probably a little bit long-winded, but we are upstairs above the Inter, and downstairs in the Inter is where I started doing the open mics, and Stephen James Smith would have helped me a lot back then. The Glower sessions, the Monday Echo, similar things that Minty's doing now on the Tuesday nights, and the Circle sessions on the Monday nights. Great stuff. This is a great out spot, and that was where I kind of, you know, came out of the shell and started off hiding behind the page. Then I'd be doing things with my eyes closed, and then you're just meeting people and you're hooking up, and they're strumming a guitar and you're chatting your poems over, and it's all coming together. It's all nice. Loads of little collaborations down the years is the way of saying that. Played with a band during the Lingo Festival. I don't know if you remember that. The Lingo Festival, 2014, 15, 16. I think those were the years. And played with a band and that. Then I got the book. And then there was a couple of Vibe for Phillows where I jumped up on stage with like these amazing musicians. Do you know what I mean? And I was doing my poems in between, and that gave me the bug as well. You know, kept feeding the bug as well. So Fin Divilly, we played down here for years, downstairs. for years. Finn and I just got chatting, I just sparked it off, and it just really happened very naturally, organically, and quickly, you know. Meanie, a friend of Finn's, came in with a couple of little beats, because we were looking for a drummer back then, you know, a real life human being drummer, like, which, you know, they're not that easy to come across, you know. So we tried.
They're like goalkeepers.
Yeah, we tried. Yeah, we tried to get our hands on one. We couldn't. So Meanie came in, and we started using electronic bits, you know, and then Johnny came in. Johnny threw the into guitar, and that was us for a while. And yeah, great. It's great going. It's great going rehearsing, which we call amongst ourselves. We use the football analogies quite a bit. You know, we'll go training. You know, and gigs. We had a gig there Friday just gone. That's a match day. You know what I mean? So we have to train for the match days. And it's nice, everyone brings something to the table. Now poetic is there and saxophone. So when we meet up, it's great. You know, we create quite quickly together, I think. You know, yeah, everyone brings something to the table every time that we meet up, you know. It's really good. Some sessions there, we've gone in looking to practice a new song, and we come out with 3 new songs, you know, kind of something. And say, oh, you need to slow down, though.
This is called kindness, not the form of weakness. Witness the fitness all together in this. There is no league to be out of, no line to be north nor south of, no land you can't feel a home in. This is not a world to be alone in, and there's no shape you don't naturally throw, no ego you won't naturally outgrow, no height to flight up to, a depth to sink into, spirits embodied in your think sin. You are not a maybe, you're a definite. Are you listening? You're not a deficit, you're the plus sign and the minus sum. You equalize equilibrium. You're the last link in the chain of events. Your reality and all pretense, and none one attack, no none defense. We the symmetry in every sequence.
What you are listening to has taken time and resources to prepare. It is a collaboration of committed journalists. Please, if you can, share, subscribe, or support this podcast in whatever way you can. And do you think there was something kind of special in Dublin, just in the wake of the crash, you know, where there were a lot of people who maybe had a bit more time, rents were a bit lower.
The good old days.
It's, you know, places like Walsh's and the Cobblestones.
Still going. Yeah.
The Inter, and, you know, there was a kind of a bit of a fermentation of talent going on. Are we losing that a bit at the moment?
That's a good question.
Or is that us just getting old?
That's a good question. I'd say it's a combination of both, isn't it? That's a deep one. It's a shilling thing, I think. I think it's a money thing. Definitely things are more expensive. Because there were some Wednesday nights back, you know, you'd be skimming, you'd be like a stone going across the town some Wednesday nights, you know, trying to catch the several nights that are going on around town, you know. And the talent, as it were, I don't really like that word, talent, but the people sharing their songs and doing their bits and bobs. It was great, you know, it was really, and like you said, it was very hard. Yeah, there was something in the air. Fermentation, did you use that word? Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, it's definitely and are we losing that? Well, venues are less. That's maths, isn't it? That's just out there. You can Google that and find out all them. That's disappeared and gone. I don't know. We see what I think it's going. Yeah, it's a good. I think it's going strong. There's definitely like if you go down there to the circuit sessions on the Monday night, that room is jammed down there, you know. And then there's the Smithfield creatives that do bits and bobs. I haven't been on social media now for a few years, so I feel that I'm not up to speed, really, Frank, to kind of even tell you what's going on around town. But from word of mouth, from what I'm hearing, it's not the same, not as maybe, I don't know what the word is there, prolific or strong or whatever, but it is happening, definitely. Yeah, loads of, with a bang of youth off them, Frank. Is that okay there? A lot out there with a bang of youth off them, making some good stuff.
I'm more aware now than I've Mount Everest human being that the poetry grows metaphor evergreen, however it's shadly, deadly, invisibly is beheld hard wrought, iron gate with that spider waves, got to be street smart, countrywide, convoyed, not yet spiritually, gentra, central boy, though I may be bought up in my brittle little mind, captivated by a bargain-based mental, gentle point, fine toddler in the boogie on the tablet, could be, should be, singing, the alphabet, dropping silly bells, the lyrically fit in, do re mi fa sol la la la, lyrically knitting, smitten, bitten by the bug, it a bounce when the babe bright as a button, a smarty always well ape, ill at these adults with me innocent truth, can compute Adam's app, low hanging fruit, what the comparison, a blossom last century, when young the fire flung, was so 2020, then the winter came, got real wintry, social distancing, that's what done did me, one of them nights, chivalrous full of oats, so what the rally bikes get, huddling overcoats, wishing was a windows with me telepathic eyes, furry in the forehead, urging them to rise, blue bottles be the same, bang against the pane, looking through the glass at the war from whence they came, we know how they feel, sudden, surreal, it's why I make believe the pen, sort of pure steel, dystopian, that topian, see what I done did there, absurd word playing, like I know, no care, past pointed, allow me get us so far, the core future is now where.
And let's move on to the future. What does the future hold for John Cummins, musician?
Well, I'd love to get a keyboard into the band. The lads know this. One for me, so that I can do me doodles on stage. It's very challenging for me to be doing, well, I suppose it's very challenging to be jumping around and playing a musical instrument, but all the talking, all the verbal, all the rapping, all the poems, it's challenging for me to do them and play the keyboard at the same time. That's an at-home thing. I can only do it at a certain BPM really slowly, which is nice because it slows everything down, and then I'll bring a little slow melody perhaps the odd time, and then Sam will take over, take the melody into his fingers, and he'll play around, and then it'll free me up then to go back to the jibber jabber. But I'd love to have some sort of, that's an evolution, that's a musical thing. I'd like that to happen where I can maybe play music more on stage and maybe talk less. Maybe I need to join a new band.
But the current format you're happy with.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. Sure. I still think like if we're as a band now, although we're probably like pre-lockdown 2018, end of 2018, 2019, lockdown came and pulled the plug on everyone, didn't it? So we're back up and running. We're still we're out of nappies now, but we're still like a little toddler. Like, we're still running around like, we're chasing the ball like a dope, you know what I mean? Or, oh, there's a tree, So we've yet to make our Holy Communion even. We're still growing as a band. We still get there. We'll get there.
And do you think there's a prospect of making a living out of it?
You'd like to think so, wouldn't you? But, Jesus, you don't hear too many success stories. People having to leave, Anyway.
Are you prepared to travel, to tour?
Yeah, I would be. Yeah, of course. I'd love that. I'd love that now, yeah. That'd be great. This time in my life. Play some music, do some poems, get back gigging. I don't really do so many poetry gigs anymore. I'd like to do more of them, I think, and maybe bring a keyboard with me to that, like just do like a one-man show, take out all the little toys that I have, tin whistle here, harmonica there, an upside down guitar, an upside down right hand.
Left-handed.
An upside. No, I've heard of these things. I like the upside down right hand guitar. I like it. But I definitely stay with the band, keep evolving with the band. But I'd also love to do some collaborations with people. I'd like to try reggae songs. I'd love to do trad songs. All sorts, all the musics. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. A symphony. Wouldn't that be great to write one of them one day? An opera. Could you imagine? I wrote a hip opera years ago. Yeah.
Well, have you ever heard of O'Donoghue's opera?
No.
This is a film about Ronnie Drew in it.
Right.
the theme is The Night Before Larry Was Stretched.
Right, which is the name of the sound session over in the Cobblestones, which is a brilliant session. I've caught that a few times down there. What a session! Yeah. So keep going, sorry.
No, it was restored. It was restored, but recently.
So is
from
it
the 60s?
It's a song, so this is findable to listen to.
Well, they actually retell the story of The Night Before Larry Was Stretched, and they call it O'Donoghue's opera.
Right.
Nice. All right. I think that's. I think we've covered the ground.
Thanks, Frank.
Yeah, thank you.
That was harmless. No drama.
All right, let's get the deep AI.
Oggy. Full
rafters are two. Who's up for more cracks? Some afters are you. There's a fun fire in me. When feeling game, let's keep this candle flickering forever in the flame. There's bound to be a sitting room with a bit of carpet where our royal arseholes can humbly park it. A sip of tea, some melody, an improvised ashtray, warm open people sounding slightly smashed. Say no lulas, no hoo-has. Out the gate, crash, nay, just a gentle spot where us lot can't splish a splash. Hey, take a deep sniff. That scent is so fresh. This is not an if, there is defo a sesh. Take a deep sniff. That scent is so fresh. This is not an if, there is defo a sesh.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Cassandra Voices is a multimedia project that seeks to highlight independent voices and inspire original thinking with stories from Ireland and around the world. Go to CassandraVoices.com online to read more and look out for more episodes from us in future. Your attention and your support are crucial. Thank you.